Okay, so the old standing up setup was actually received really well in the last video, and I like the freedom of being able to move around in these videos. It just feels a lot more natural, and I only intended to do it for that video, but we're gonna do a little test run with it for this top 10, so let me know how you feel about it down in the comments below, compared to the old sitting down at the TV setup. So today, it's sequel time once again, baby. 10 rap songs saved by the feature 2, because God knows, there is more than 10. So, no more needs to be said. This is CDTV Productions. You can become a channel member down below if you want to see every video of mine early. And let's take a look at 10 songs where the features massively outshone the main artist. Bruh, it's falling down even further. You. Why? Okay. Okay, so it's gonna stay up here. You're not gonna stay where I want you to, but when it's at this level, it's okay. No problems. Now, I'm not gonna go over the top and say that this track would be nothing without Offset, because Gucci is decent on here. Metro's dark bells, the really present 808s, and those sparse ticking hi-hats create this really ominous atmosphere. In other words, the beat is good. But I would rarely come back to the track if it was not for Offset's standout performance. Okay, right there. Oh my god. This is the type of verse that showcases why Offset is the best Migo. He takes this beat and just glides all over it. It's one of those tracks where, in a lot of people's minds, the featured artist just owns the song. It's Offset featuring Gucci as far as I'm concerned. Partially because Offset raps more than Gucci on here, but also just because he's so good on it. Again, Gucci isn't terrible here, and the octopus line is great, but it's Offset that gives this track so much replay value for me.
You think I'm digging graves the way I'm putting rocks on my wrist? Young T-Man, taller when you see him.
Like with the previous one, not all of these are on here because I think the main artist is awful or anything, because on this track, Jaden is okay. At least for the first verse. I'm not a big fan of the second one, and the hook is meh. So yeah, while I don't mind him on this one, it doesn't really get notable until Tyler comes in with a simultaneously hilarious and hard verse. He starts off by shooting down the rumors that he and Jaden are together, because for some reason when celebrities make jokes that are obviously jokes, people just take it and run with it as if it's true. And then goes on to have multiple entertaining and funny lines, including a classic Nicki Minaj ass joke. I honestly think in general, Tyler is underrated as a guest verse artist because most of the focus is typically on his solo music. But Telephone Calls, Martians vs. Goblins, Trouble on My Mind, and then this track, he stands out on all of them. Lose It is carried so much by Lil Baby that the song doesn't even sound like it started until he comes on. He drops in at around the 1 minute and 30-second mark, but it feels like it takes way longer than that to get there. Quavo is just one big long hook on here. Seriously, he sounds like he's laying down the rough draft for a verse that he's gonna fill in and improve later, but nope, it's the final song. Now say what you want about Lil Baby, I don't exactly love his music, but his voice is way more diverse and attention grabbing than Quavo's is on here. I feel like generally in rap, higher pitched voices tend to automatically just have a bit more of an interesting tone to them, and Baby picks up the pace significantly from what Quavo was doing. He at least has a go at throwing some wordplay in there, even if I Am Jace did this idea better. And he sounded like he cared about having a fairly nice verse. Without him, without Lil Baby, take him out of the equation, this would be one of the most boring rap songs in history.
We don't know you, but you claim. That's a shame, that's just strange. Poser, you an imposter, ayy. All real men was on the roster, ayy.
This one boils down to a rather simple concept. Who would you rather hear talk about how threatening and intimidating they are? Lil Xan? I don't really have no friends, sky, ay, what? Or YG? Obviously, the answer is Lil Xan. Wait, no, it's not.
No one wants to hear that from Lil Xan.
It's baffling to me how Lil Xan tries to sound hard on the same song where he states that he plays by the rules and has never cheated on a test. And then 2 lines later, make you bleed out your neck. Okay, Mr. I play by the rules. Now, as far as I'm concerned, YG has actually had a pretty weak record with features recently. But this is one that he shone through on, no question. Okay, my phone just won't unlock, so I'm stuck without a script. Oh, got it. Nothing is going right today. It's kind of funny because I'm almost certain that YG is talking directly to Lil Xan with these lyrics. Like, it's too perfect to be a coincidence.
You ain't pop no gun, you ain't no code. You ain't violated one penal code. You ain't never hit a lick with the game, bro.
At the end of the day, one person handled this subject matter well with their verse and actually sounds cold-blooded. The other one overdosed on hot Cheetos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment y'all been waiting for. Yeah, Gerald and Bobby, the clash of the Titans. Go tell somebody.
You might be asking,
CDTV, are you quite finished shitting on Confessions of a Dangerous Mind yet?
and the answer is obviously no, dummy. Look what I'm doing right now. Don't get me started on the fact that Logic just dropped a video for Icy. Out of all the possible tracks he could from that album, why? You have Lost in Translation on that album. You have Mama / Show Love, and you went for Icy. And it was a great video, to be fair. It was really well done, but it's best on mute. As for this song, Logic's parts had the same problem that most of the album did. It just sounds so uninspired, even for a light-hearted trap song, and the hook is one of the most blandest that Logic has ever concocted. So, we were beaten down, and we were already losing in the first half. It was down to G-Eazy, young Gerald himself, to save this track. And I feel like he did that. His verse is basically about the fact that this song is a collaboration with Logic, but I kind of like that. With those lyrics, G-Eazy makes it feel like this collab is a big deal, and makes it feel important, even if the overall track didn't turn out to be amazing. I really enjoy his verse and what he brought on here, and it's one of the only things that really keeps me coming back to Commando.
Got 100 stats of 101 plus 100, read the stats and stats on one another. I keep it 100 for 100 bands. I see family turning backs on one another.
It's just hit me right now that this song is so similar in structure to Lose It by Quavo, which we had earlier on in the list. French basically sounds like one long hook, just like Quavo did on Lose It. It gets stale after about a minute, and then 1 minute and 30 seconds in, the feature, in this case T.I., swoops in with a significantly stronger verse and steals the show. This is legitimately the exact same structure as Lose It. Now, I'm not super familiar with T.I.'s material outside of a few features. He's one of those artists that I've been meaning to check out for so long, but just keep delaying it. So I didn't know he could chop it up like he does on here. The pace that he easily fires his words out at caught me off guard. Now yeah, I guess you could say the last bars of his verse seem a bit serious and out of place on a song where the main focus is on throwing money at strippers. It just seems so dark for a song with this tone. But the verse is very solid nonetheless and helps to make the overall song not too painful.
Bird, a verse for me is like 11 birds. Just did the math, it's like $2,000 every word. I'm on the purge, I beat the church.
Okay, so I have to give Travis Scott big props on making this song sound pretty good as well. His hook sounds great over the hypnotic beat. I won't complain about any Travis hook that consists of more than 8 unique words. But it's J. Cole that really excels on this one. He even does something similar to a Young Thug cadence on his part, and that was super unexpected and nice to hear, especially from Cole.
How could you come about your face and say I ain't the hardest nigga you'd have never heard? I left off like a rapper's dead and bird.
Can you imagine like 2011 J. Cole doing anything remotely close to a Young Thug flow and being serious about it? All of his flow switches hit just how they should, and he sounds confident as hell. Sound-wise, it's one of my favourite J. Cole features. This song is pretty perfect, honestly, until Young Thug jumps in with his "I got a minute, she a ride." Oh my god, it's ear-piercing. Sometimes Young Thug does too much when the track doesn't really call for it. Thug can be extremely hit or miss for me with his very dynamic vocals, and on this one, it's a miss for me. It's one of those instances where I feel like Thug's rapping was different just for the sake of being different, rather than having that odd but entrancing creativity to it. It's the features that make this track what it is for me.
I got no time for hissy fist, can't count on you, you counterfeit. It's just me all set and rich, when you lose and win it all, that's a feeling you'll never forget. Graveyard shifts, tales from the crypt.
Honestly, there is a lot of Rich the Kid songs I could choose to put on here. I almost always feel like he's assisted heavily by his production and his features. Two Cups is no different. As you can tell, I've went for Sean as the main rapper who did the job of saving this one, but don't get me wrong, Offset is pretty nice on here too, just not amazing. It's really Big Sean that puts Rich the Kid to shame with the flow switches on his verse. Just when you think you've got his flow pinned down and you kind of get used to it, he switches it up and it really keeps things interesting.
Had to cut the middleman, I ain't talking Malcolm. Round one. I got no time for hissy fisty, I'm no boss, no crawling sick. Look, it's just me and all my dogs and we riding like we lawless. I go off, go in, go up, but never go back.
And if you know anything about Rich the Kid, you'll know that he sounds really similar on a huge amount of his tracks. So it's pretty hard for me to be invested in him as a rapper at this point. This song suffers from that same couple of flows, same delivery, so thank God we had Big Sean on here to make the track worthwhile.
Night call, I'ma shine with the lights off. Night ball, I'ma spray like lights off. That ain't my type now.
No lie, the instrumental and the second best Migo are the only two redeemable factors of this track. And listen, Mr. Croc Gang ENT, it's Offset. Offset is the best Migo. Offset's verse is like, and then Lil Yachty's verse is like, and then Quavo's hook and verses, but then Takeoff flies in and his verse is like, okay. He's the only person on here whose verse is above not good. And it's not purely down to the rapping. Is it just me, or does everyone except Takeoff on this song have their vocals mixed awfully? Everybody else has this kind of warbly effect over their autotune that makes them sound like they're quite literally being drowned in it. But Takeoff's sound so clean and, well, not terrible. If you start to tune out of this song before the 3-minute mark, I don't blame you. I did it as well. But Takeoff will instantly snap you right back into it from his first bar. He contrasts a fair bit to the rest of the track's aesthetic, and in this case, that is a good thing. He injects some life into the song, and in my opinion has the only verse on it that is worth coming back to.
Today I'll dress up a Republic and go get some hair from a white man's daughter. Her lips aren't big, but I'm loving it. I'll get in fake ID, I'll make loving it.
Why did I make myself talk about this mess again? Okay, I'm gonna try and talk about this in a more composed manner than I did the last time I talked about Chance. Chance, bro, what the Smoking green. Cauliflower? Why do I continue to do this job when it's clearly not healthy for me? The main defense I see for this is that Chance is just having fun, and if you think that, that's your opinion, that's fine, you are wrong. In all seriousness though, being a fun or jokey song does not excuse it from criticism, or from being a horrible track. Chance has fun songs in abundance, but this isn't one of them for me. This is annoying. Made in Tokyo does what he usually does. He fits the sound of the track way more than Chance, which is nice, but he doesn't quite do enough to elevate the song. And then, descending smoothly like the water from a hot shower, DaBaby glides in to save the day with a
goddamn.
I don't care if his flow is the same as it commonly is, this man is charismatic as hell. He brings energy to this track that it desperately needs, and he no question has the only genuinely appealing verse on this entire thing. I think what really saves it is that he's nailed the balance of sounding serious but still having a good time. Like, his voice is so deadpan, but he's saying some funny shit. His verse goes hard while still being enjoyable and putting a smile on your face. It does what this track was supposed to do. And that is why I think DaBaby completely airlifted this track with his performance. Now, I'm gonna stop talking about the big day and the tracks on it before my heart gives out. Well guys, that is going to be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would of course, as always, appreciate you leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't done so already. If you have done so, turn on that notification bell. You want to know whenever I upload. Trust me, trust me. As I said at the start of the video, you can also become one of my channel members if you want to see every one of my videos early. It's a great way to support the channel if you want to do it, but obviously if you don't, nothing is going to change for you. The content is still going to be exactly the same. That is all I have to say for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video, and this is CDTV Productions. My voice is just dying right now because I've been recording for an hour. Signing out.